Right, back at the workshop, back up the unit. I done a wet belt and a new sump. Obviously new cover. That one got absolutely mangled, taking it off. There's the old wet belt. So this actually wasn't in bad condition, really. You won't pick it up. I mean, it's got a bit of cracking and that, but yeah, there wasn't any bits in the oil pickup. So I done that, and I done this on Saturday because this customer, he's a tradesman as well. He's a carpenter, so he asked me to do the van on a weekend to try and, not interrupt his working week. But unfortunately, I came back Sunday after leaving the sealant all to set, and the sump was just leaking ever so much. So I've just taken that sump back off, resealed it, put it back up. Hopefully, that should do the job. So I'm going to let that set before putting any oil in. We've got this C-Max in, and it's got a floppy handbrake cable, or floppy. So we're going to have a look at that, see what that needs. And whilst I've been here as well, we've sold a 1 Series that we had up for sale, and the buyer for my free Peugeot 206 came and picked it up. So yeah, happy days. If we go in here and try and operate the handbrake cable, just have a listen underneath. So it's obviously still attached to the actual handle, because there's something banging underneath. Right, so we've got this metal heat shield we've got to take off. So we're just going to spray up all of these little fixings, give it a chance to come off without snapping anything, which is highly unlikely. Right, so there we go, we found our problem. If I can get the camera up there, you can just see that cable is split, and that goes off to the right hand rear wheel. So we're gonna have to check that caliper, make sure that caliper's not seized. But yeah, new cable. Right, just gonna check that winds back okay. Let's get that in there. Right, let's see if that winds back. Oh, nice and easy. So it's just going to be a cable. Right, I might as well get this off while we order up a cable, probably in for tomorrow. But yeah, I just went in there, disconnected it. It's held on by a couple of clips there. There's a little plastic under tray thing that just sits there. I've taken that out. Another little clip in there. And then just have to disconnect it from the caliper. So I'm going to squeeze this together and then just unhook the cable. Oh no, look, that's already nice and loose. And there we go, get a closer look of the snap cable. Right, next into the workshop, we've got this mini Countryman, is it? Clubman? Clubman, and same issue as the Ford. We've just got some handbrake cables that need doing. So we've just got corrosion in the cables here. It's also sort of separating just there, so that's not going to be long before that seizes up. We've already put some calipers on there because the pistons were seized up. So yeah, we've taken all the under tray heat shields off. Just goes up into the body there. This is a car sales car. So this will be up for sale soon. So if you're in the market for a nice little Clubman, give me a message. I'm just doing some bits on it just to get it up to standard. So before it leaves, it'll be in brand new condition, brand new second hand. Right, hello everyone again. It's the next day. I had to shoot off yesterday. So we've still got this Mini on the ramp Front pads and discs are done. Cables are out. New cables are going in. We might get time to do the sump reseal today. Got the C-Max, S-Max, Crappy Max, C-Max back in, so the transit customs gone. Resealed the sump. Like I said, I had to shoot off. Probably a good thing, so the sealant set a bit longer, but there was no leaks on that once I'd finished. Drove it back to the customer, dropped it back. Drove lovely. I mean, you're not really going to notice a difference after doing a timing belt, but there we go. So yeah, we're just going to get these cables back in and then get those cables back in, see where we're at, because it's 2 o'clock. Just been messing around all morning, to be honest. It's been howling down outside. So anyway, let's crack on, get these cables back in. So in, we'll pull that handle up. Seems like quite a far travel though. That one's nicely locked into place. That one's not so good. Oh, I know why. Don't. So I'm just going to pump the brake. It's nice and solid. Pulled it up. Let's try that now. There we go. All we got to do now, put them under trays back in, and job done. Right, now we got this Polo in, and it's in for a timing chain. So we're just dropping the oil, just starting to take bits off. We've got the auxiliary belt off. We've loosened up the aircon pulley. We've moved. Hang on, I'll just move that because that's. We've moved the alternator out of the way. We're going to try and actually get that completely out of the way, maybe, just to make our lives a bit easier. Draining the oil. I think the sump's got to come off because the cover bolts into here. We've got access to the whole timing chain cover here. We've got to take the mount off. Probably take the water pump pulley off. Right, that's it for the day. Just off camera, I just refitted these handbrake cables, refitted this heat shield best I can. It's a bit manky, but it's secure. I've gone as far as I can with the Polo. I was waiting for the timing tools to turn up today. So I've got a notification there at my house, so I'll continue with this tomorrow. See you there. Good morning again. It's the next day in the same video. And I've quickly had to come out and have a look at this Mazda MX5. As you can see, the brake pads have worn right down, so I'm just going to see if it's the caliper or just the pads that are sticking. But I made a bit of a mistake. So when I was up the unit last night, I forgot my trolley jack. So I've had to drive it onto the curb and use the bottle jack. Bit of a faff, to be honest, but yeah, let's check out this caliper. I'm just going to squeeze it in, see if it goes in. That should go in easy. So yeah, we've got a C caliper. Right, back up the unit now. I've resealed the sump on that, done the exhaust. So that one's going for an MOT tomorrow. So again, that one will be up for sale soon. If anybody's interested, give me a DM. But we're back on the Polo. And I'm just taking the drive shaft out just to get to the crank sensor. A bit more space up there. But in doing so, I've taken off this ball joint and snapped the stud. Typical things on these, and then the CV joint split. So we're going to get those two ordered up. But first we've got to get this drive shaft out, and it is quite tight. Right, so I've tried with the hammer and punch, but it's not really budging. So I think it's time for the air hammer. Get it? Air hammer. So after speaking to Sam at SPR Autos, Mercedes specialist, I'll leave his link maybe in the description. But he was using an air hammer. I thought, oh yeah, I fancy one of them. But I don't think that's going to do the job. And then me and my mate was speaking about tools. He's got loads of tools. He's always buying tools. I said, "Oh, buy me that air hammer." Didn't hear anything from him. I got a package in the post from Amazon. Thought I hadn't ordered anything recently. Opened it up and it's an air hammer. But yeah, that's not going to do the job. So I think we'll just carry on trying to give it a bit of a shock. But she's coming. There she goes. You can just tell the tone of it being hit that it's getting loose. Hello. There we go. And then I should have enough space now to get my hand up there and get up there to the crank position sensor. Because we've got to fit a locking tool in there. That's the locking pin in there. So it's got a pin on the end of it and it just goes into the flywheel. So I had to turn the engine over until it sits in there. So that's locked in. Right, that's all the bolts from the outside. All taken out. They've all been put into a bit of card, like that. They're all different lengths, if you can see. So just want to make sure they go back in the right place. So we'll leave that over there. I think all we've got to do is just separate the casing from the engine. Finally, we are out. Right, and there we have it. This is the timing chain. You can see the tensioner there. It's quite a way out. Doesn't seem too slack there. So yeah, as well as that tensioner being quite a far out. So the crankshaft or the engine is turned all the way against the tool around the back. And then if you have a look at these timing tools here, they're meant to line up. But they are quite a bit out, to be honest. Right, that's it all timed up. All I had to do was take the chain off. So I took the tensioner off and then the chain had loads of slack. And then I just was able to turn these camshaft gear wheels to get the locking tools in place. Right, just as a little comparison, I've set the chains up here. So as we follow it down, you can just see the difference in those chains. This old one obviously being just a little bit longer. Right, that's the new chain on, new sprockets, new tensioner, and you can just see the difference on how far that tensioner is come out. So everything's back up tight, just got to put the cover back on, refit the sump and all the rest of it.